Hello ladies and gentlemen, how do you guys doing today? In this video I'm going to talk to you guys about my first ever time doing mushrooms and what my experience was like and how I can describe it within like 5 minutes, right? 5 to 10 minutes, it depends on how long the story is going to be. I hope you guys are munching on something, indulging on something, and I hope you guys are enjoying your days. So let's get right into this right now. So this happened about on January of 2022 when I first turned 21 years old. I turned 21 in May, and I was like, I'm in a few months from now, I'm gonna try some mushrooms, and I never thought of trying it until this particular day. I got it from a guy that I was copping dabs off of, from a TikTok fan, and he was selling shrooms, and he was like, "Yo, like, do you want some?" Blah blah blah. I bought it from him, and I bought like 8 for like 55. It was just expensive. Some areas, will charge 40 or 30, but like, if you're paying like 50, the shrooms are gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? At least in my opinion. But this is the first time, so I didn't know what I was going in for. So I brought it. I'm on a train. We brought it home and shit, and I'm like, yo, I can't wait to try this thing out. Blah blah blah, and then I get home, get to my parents' house, because at the time I lived with my parents. So I just went straight home, and smoked a little bit more, and then a few minutes later, that's when I decided, you know what, I decided to grind up the shrooms and then put it in a peanut butter sandwich, just like any other person would, damn near. I put it in a peanut butter sandwich, clapped it in together with the bread, and then I just indulged into it. I just went into it a little bit. I put like, at first I put like, I can't remember exactly how much I put in there. I think it was like a gram at least, because I know in total I took like 1.7, almost 2 grams for my first time. So I know I put like almost a gram for this first half of the sandwich. Or, yeah, around there. I popped that, and then I popped another half, and then, because I'm not feeling it at all, I'm not feeling it at this point until it just like, long story short, I'm just sitting there watching a podcast, listening to people talk, and I'm trying to fill out the shrooms, and I'm kind of going back and forth a little bit, trying to wait until the loopy feeling comes in. I didn't know what I was going in for at the time, so I didn't know what mushrooms supposed to feel like. I didn't know what it was supposed to do. Well, I did my research. I know the basics of it, but personally, I don't know what was going to happen for me. Am I going to trip out, or am I going to do, freak out and shit? So, as it kicks in, I just get a huge wave of like, my mind just shifted from like, it just like, from a light switch on and off. It was kind of like that when it first kicked in. And I just stood in my chair, and I'm just like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, everything kind of like went brighter and shit like that. Like, it's not like weed, like weed, it just chills you out. Shrooms just makes you feel out your thoughts. Weed, it just makes you forget about your thoughts. You're like, oh, fuck this day. I'm just ready to just chill and just forget about it. But shrooms, exact opposite. You'll remember everything. Everything flashes back at you, and you're supposed to fill it out and shit. That's how it always happens for me, at least. I don't know. Everybody's different. When some people take shrooms, they just see leprechauns and shit. I never see leprechauns, and I'm on shrooms. Maybe if I take like more than 2 grams, I would. But definitely not. Like I see some things. It's just different. Like sometimes like, if I'm really, really on it, like the best case scenario is that the walls will move, for me. So, yeah. So when it kicked in, like, I have a huge different waves of like emotions coming in, because like, mind you, I didn't even know shrooms was supposed to do this to you, where it gives you what you need, not what you want. Where I'm still facing like a lot of traumas and shit from the past, or I'm still like facing a lot of depression from all the failures I had in the past, and I literally just sat there, like turned off the podcast, listened, and just like literally just like sat there and breathed and like listened to my thoughts, because my thoughts became intensified. Like, I just had voices like popping up my head out of nowhere and shit, and flashbacks popping in my head too of like, my dog passed away and shit like that, and old breakups and shit like that, and how many people I've played and shit. I don't know, it all just came back to me, and it just fucked me up. Like, it just made me sat there and cry for 30 minutes like a baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it happened to me again, a month ago when I took shrooms for the first time in a while. But that first time, it was like, this is when I first initially faced that high where it's like a 360 wave of different emotions from happy, sad, angry, happy, laughing, some shit like that, like random shit as I was on it, right? And I'm just like, but for the most part, I was literally just sitting there crying my eyes out, just bawling my eyes out, mainly because of the loss of my dog, because I didn't have a pet at the time, When I lost my dog, then that's when I didn't really have a pet other than a snake that's downstairs, but I never really got to play with him too much at all. But I literally just sat there just reminiscing the loss of my dog and reminiscing the fact that I don't have a girlfriend. I'm reminiscing the fact that, not too many friends have my back. But at the end of the trip is when I just started to, feel that relief, like, whew, whew. Like, literally, I was literally like that after crying for 30 minutes. And I was like, wow, like, I really needed that. I really needed that trip, or I really needed that high where I'm just sitting there listening to my thoughts and just crying and letting everything out and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite highs, not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite highs, but I'd rather do that shit in the privacy of my own home, you know what I'm saying, if I'm gonna be that out of my mind, because who the hell wants to be a grown man crying like a baby in public, while on shrooms? Fuck that, I don't want to embarrass myself. I'd rather do it at home, But, and I took shrooms yesterday, which that's the reason why I made this video. It kind of reminded me of my first time. Like, I didn't cry. I didn't sit there and I wasn't emotional at all. I was just enjoying it, It's just kind of weird. I was just sitting there enjoying myself. I was just sitting there listening with my headphones on. And actually, I took 3 hours to clean up my apartment while I was on mushrooms. Like, I don't know what got into me. I don't know if it's the shrooms. I don't know if it's because, like, I don't know, I have OCD, and I looked around and it was driving me fucking crazy with the mess. I just got up and just cleaned up for like 3 hours yesterday, out of nowhere, and then until I felt the come down, and I was like, and I looked around, I'm like, oh, at least I cleaned up my apartment. At least, I picked up a lot of trash and shit, Hey, good for me. Whatever, Maybe I might pop some more today. Who knows? Don't try it at home, kids. You know what I'm saying? If you're only 21 plus, do your research, be careful, and thank you guys so much for 2,000 subscribers. That's besides the point. As I'm recording this, I'm at 2,000. And I'm planning on recording a lot more content for you guys. I've been slacking, I've been working a lot. But now that I have free time, I'm just throw this free time in for you guys, I don't have anything much going on in my life. I don't have a girlfriend holding me back. So I have a lot of freedom. I got a lot of free time for you guys. I love you guys so much for watching until the end. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.